Namaste Gurukulans. I hope you will be fit and fine with your parents at home and safe from the deadly coronavirus. Today, I am going to teach you 8th class 2nd chapter from trade to territory. The British establishes powers. You know who are Britishers? Britishers are those belong to England, and you know that England is a European country. So, first of all, before going to start this chapter, I will give you an introduction. How did they establish their territory in India? You know that first of all they come here for just as a trader, and as soon as they expanded their powers, they become the master of this country. So first of all, I will give you an introduction. In introduction, I will discuss with you that how did they acquire, how did they get the territory in their clutches. So, you know that Aurangzeb was the last powerful Mughal emperor who controlled the very large part of the country known as India. You know that he was died in 1770. The last Aurangzeb, who was Aurangzeb? The last powerful Mughal emperor, and he was died in 1770. In which date? In which year he was died? So after his death, his officials, his Mughal officials and big Jamidar starting asserting their kingdoms and purchase small states into their kingdoms. At this point, the one company has reached on the horizon of India, and they created their business on the political horizon. And you know those who are, these are Britishers, known as company. They established their empire, they established their trade on the political horizon and become the master of the country. How did they do this? This will be read in this chapter. You know that first of all, you know that the Britishers or the company come in India as a small trading company. But after this, when they know that the kingdom of India is split into small pieces, they know the leakage, they know the weakness of their rulers and started to control over them. So in introduction, we read that Aurangzeb was the last powerful Mughal emperor and he was died in 1717. After his death, his officials and big Jamidars tried to establish their kingdoms, and this point they take the advantage. Who are they here? Company are the Britishers, and as they started, they come in India as a small traders, they become the master of India. So next point is, how did they come? They don't directly come in India. They didn't directly come in India, but how did they come? They get permission from their authorities and then they come. So second point is, East India Company comes east. East India Company comes east. It means East India Company, the name the company had given to this particular company. And comes east. East means you know that we are living in east, like India. So how did they come? How did they don't? They didn't directly come in India. So how did they come? In 1600. In 1600, what they did? They established company. Company. How? How did they establish? They take permission and granted a charter. They take permission from the Queen Elizabeth I, and a charter. Charter means which give the certain authorities to them. So they got the charter from where? From where? Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth first. How did they acquire the authority? Through a charter. She granted a charter to them. Through this charter, how did they get the certain points, certain authorities to trade in East? To trade in East, like, and have got the sole right. Charter and sole right. What is sole right? Sole right means when you only one in the business and there would be no competitor. It means they got a charter in which they got the certain authorities, certain permissions and rights or right to trade in the East. So what in charter, what permissions will be given to them? In charter permissions are venture oceans. Second, looking for new lands. Third is looking for new lands. For what? To venture in the oceans, they have to cross the ocean. They cross the ocean and looking for new lands for taking things at cheap price, and by getting these things carry back to the Europe and sell them at a high price. So they have, through this charter they got these permissions. And you know, sole right, they have only sole person, sole company, sole trader in this field. So through this they got the permission from Elizabeth I in 1600, and after this they come to the East. But when they come, you know that there are other countries, other European countries, those did not follow the charter rules. It did not prevent them from to do trade in the East. Who are these companies? Who are these countries? These are Dutches, Portuguese, and the French. You know that these are other European countries. Dutch belong to Scotland, Portuguese belong to Portugal, and French belong to France. So these are other European countries which don't get restricted from the charter. they also come to the east before the Britishers, before the company. So you know that India was invented by a Portuguese whose name was Vasco da Gama, and he has reached in India in 1498 through the ocean. And as soon as he reached, the Britishers also started their journey from England and come to the west coast of Africa and Cape Round of Good Hope, and last they come to the India. Before this, these three companies already reached there and started their business. They already had started their business. You know that India is in need of best quality of cotton and silk, and apart from these, other things are cloves, pepper, cardamom, etc. You know, because of these commodities, because of these things, the Western companies, Western traders attracted to the East. Best quality of cotton and silk, cloves, pepper, cardamom, etc. So these three countries have already reached in the East, but Britishers were the last to come in the East, and these four are all interested to trade in India. And you know, if there are lot of competitors, it is certainly important for them, if they come in trade, if they establish their business, if they want to set their business, they have either to compete with them or have to fight with them. So in this way, they established their business. After this, they fought many fights to each other to establish their businesses. So in 17th and 18th century, they sneaked into each other's ships, blockaded their routes, and preventing the rival ships from moving one place to other. So in this way, they fight each other, they do many activities to stop their business activities, and after this, it is necessary for them to do business with arms and to settle their factory, to secure their factory. They made fortification. You know what is fortification? When we circle, when we secure any place with bricks or cemented walls, that is a fortification. So after this, when they do the settlement, fortification and army trading with arms, so it is great tension for the local rulers. What they are doing? It is a intensify the local rulers, and they all started to interact. And it is also in the mind of the Britishers, in the companies, that it will not possible to trade in East to separate themselves from the politics. It means they have to include themselves in politics if they want to do their business in India. So still here we discussed 2 points. First, introduction I have already discussed with you, in which Aurangzeb was the last and his contemporary officials started their business, started their kingdoms. And after this, the second part is in 1600 the company granted permission from the Queen Elizabeth I and through a charter and a sole right and come to the east. Before they are coming, the 3 European countries have already reached, and to compete them, to fight them, he has to they have to create competition and fight with them. So in these 2 points we discuss this. In the third point is about company begins its trade in Bengal. Company selected one state of India for its trading, for its business. So you know that at that time Bengal was the big state of India, and it is the big state of India, and apart from its bigness, it is also the big renewal state for them. So that is why they selected Bengal. In 1651. In 1651, what they did, they settled their first settlement. Yani first factory. Where they settled their first factory? At the river Hooghly. Hooghly in Calcutta. So 1651 they established their factory on the banks of river Hooghly. So when they started, they have got a special known as the factor operated. The company traders have got a special name. What special name they have got? Factors operated. So after this, they got the factor operated. They made warehouses. What they made? Warehouses. Warehouses are just like a go down. What a go down? Where they store the material, where they store the productive material, and for what purpose? To export them to the Europe. And they also make residence for their officials setting. Apart from this warehousing or official setting, they get permission from Aurangzeb through a farman to duty free trade, and also bribed Mughals officials and jamidars and big jamidars for getting the jamidari of 3 villages. One village is that Calicut. Calicut, you know that today is known as Kolkata and Calcutta. So they have bribed Mughal officials for the jamidaris of 3 villages. One village is Calicut, that is known today as Kolkata. Colcate. That is the capital of West Bengal today. So through these activities, they become the politics rival of the Mughal, of the local ruler, those who rules over the Bengal. So by this they got the farman, through the farman they get the permission of duty free trade. But when they do this duty free trade, so they continuously try to get more concession, get more authorities over these places. According to Farman of Aurangzeb, they have only get the right of duty free trade, but their lust for the kingdom, lust for the rule has increased. So in this way, they started to get more and more relaxation from the government. So through this way, in Calicut they got the 3 villages, Jamidaris, and apart from this, some private British officials have carried on their business, and they have to pay, and the Bengal local rulers also expected that they give them lot of revenue, lot of duty free payment, but they refused to do, they refused to pay this amount, and this was causing a big loss for the Bengal government. So that is why they curtailed their limits. They said that they curtailed their limits, and after this there is a big conflict start between the Bengal's rulers and the company. So today I discussed 3 points of this chapter. First, introduction. Second, East India Company comes in. Third, company begins its trades in Bengal. Why did they select Bengal? Because Bengal was the biggest trade state of the India at that time. They settled their first factory 1651 near the river Hooghly, and they started constructed warehouses near the and official setting near the settlement, and they acquired 3 villages Jamidari by bribing to the British Mughal officials, and after this they get the Farman in which they got the permission of duty free trade, and when they refuse to pay their taxes, there is a big conflict between the local rulers and the Britishers, and this leads the political conflict between the Britishers and the local rulers of Bengal. So this is our first chapter's 3 points. The rest points will be discussed with you the next chapter. Have a nice day.